The Secret Service this weekend experienced some more bad optics. It was tasked with protecting the president of Iran, a national sponsor of state terrorism that is implicated in the plot to kill former President Donald Trump. Meanwhile, Trump announced this weekend that he had to downgrade his venue in Wisconsin.
Thousands and thousands of people, and they all could have had a lot of fun. Instead, now they're probably leaving and walking back home, because we have a nice little room that probably holds 1,500, 2,000, maybe less. And outside you have 40, 50,000 people, because the administration couldn't give us the Secret Service necessary because they're guarding the Iranian president who's looking to kill Trump. Can you believe it?
The Secret Service explains that this is exactly why Acting Director Ronald Rowe has called for a paradigm shift. The U.S. Secret Service Chief of Communications, Anthony Guglielmi, said that Trump is, quote, receiving heightened levels of U.S. Secret Service protection, and our top priority is mitigating risks to ensure his continued safety at all times. Out of our concern for operational security, we cannot provide specific details about resources allocated for event security or communications between agency personnel and our protectees. Yet the optics are still bad, because protecting Iranian President Raisi, the head of state terrorism, while former President Donald Trump complains about reduced resources. Are you guys kidding at this point? Joining us now to discuss the Secret Service misplaced priorities is Eric Prince, Navy SEAL vet and host of Off Leash with Eric Prince. Thanks so much for joining us once again. So, Eric, what do you make of this mess?
It's consistent with what I've been calling for. You have leadership of the Secret Service staffed by unserious people that have never been held to account for failing. I don't think Secret Service is capable of healing itself in time for election. I think President Trump needs additional security immediately. And the fastest way to do that is bilaterally from JSOC, from the Joint Special Operations Command, which includes SEAL Team 6 and Delta Force. They have a lot of the most highly trained, commando-capable people in the world. I think it's best to use them in an outer ring, in an advanced role, because it takes a hunter to stop a hunter. And, the last two times were single, one-off, kind of idiot would-be assassins. If the Iranians or another cartel were to try with a 6, 8, or 10-man team, I fear what the outcome could be. So again, there's precedence in using highly trained DOD people around the president. The explosive ordnance disposal technicians come from the military, particularly for handling chemical or biological type weapons or nuke. And then, of course, when George Herbert Walker Bush was president, and he would be fishing up in Kennebunkport, Maine, he was protected by SEAL Team 6 boats with SEAL Team 6 operators with SEAL Team 6 guns, protecting Bush or other world leaders that were up there fishing with him. This can be done. This is a matter of the Secret Service bureaucracy asking for it. I do believe the military would be supportive of it. They can handle both candidates, and I would say there is no other national mission of higher importance, in keeping both presidential candidates alive through the election and through to the inauguration, because we have a very convoluted world right now with a lot of threats and a lot of moving parts. And I think the danger to Trump is really unprecedented. There's never been two assassination attempts against a presidential candidate within 2 months ever, I believe, in the Republic's history.
Eric, what can you tell us about, is there any indication that on either side of this, people are talking or thinking about this option, either from the Trump family or campaign or from the Secret Service? I mean, because it seems like we would need both of those parties in agreement. Is there any movement here or interest?
I can't speak to those level of conversations, but I know some recommendations have been made and a path described of how to do this. So hopefully people do the right thing and prevent a debacle from happening. when the tape you were playing at the beginning of the interview, where Trump was saying 50,000 people waiting, I believe those numbers because he's packed some massive venues. I've been following the cell phone data of Kamala Harris's rallies in North Carolina, and they had to bus in 3,600 people from Georgia, from the same area codes in Georgia and Savannah, all bussed in. Had to time it exactly right because they had to be bussed in. They could only be at the venue for a couple of hours because there's a 24-hour maximum that the bus rentals were available for, and they had to get people back in time. So I think those are actually Crowds for Hire, which is a left-wing organizing group which lets you do a rent-a-crowd as a way for her to fill up the venue. So it's amazing the sham the left will pull everywhere, not just in the media, but even in some fake attended rallies by bussed in, paid for, called attendees and enthusiasts.
Eric, you spoke on the panel at the parallel investigation for the first Trump assassination attempt. How have things progressed in that area, and will we ever get the answers that we need?
I don't know that we will under current Secret Service leadership. I know the ranks of the Secret Service. As I've described before, there's 10% of the agents are fantastic. They're Olympic class. They're carrying a lot of water. 40% are kind of mid-level bureaucrats, and a lot of the other ones are just almost maligned, that just don't belong. So until there's a regrading, a requalification of all those people that are going to be around the president with a firearm, going to continue to be disappointed. I understand that the HSI agents that were assigned to the detail in Butler, Pennsylvania, a lot of them had only had a 2-hour video course, like a Zoom course, on executive protection before they were assigned to protect Donald Trump that day. So it's just a big collection of unseriousness. I do understand that President Trump is planning to go back to Butler, Pennsylvania in early October. So I really hope the Secret Service has their game up that day and protects from all kinds of threats. Because there's a wide range. Whether there's rumors of man pads being smuggled into America, entirely possible when you have that many millions of people flowing across the border. Man pad is a surface-to-air missile like an Igla or a Stinger, an infrared guided missile which would definitely track on the motor of his 757. It would be a catastrophic way to take down the entire aircraft. Extremely dangerous. And with as many missiles and as much nonsense has been sent to Ukraine, a lot of stuff has gone missing. Whether it's from the amount of weapons the U.S. sent, that the Obama administration sent into Syria, or as much has been sent by the Biden administration to Ukraine, including man pads, the possibility of an anti-tank missile or a surface-to-air missile being missing and smuggled into America is entirely possible. If you look at the high-end cartels in Mexico, they routinely produce some very high-end purchased exotic U.S. weaponry that has come from the Ukraine front. So the idea of that coming across the border, try to get Trump, is certainly not impossible.
Eric, 30 seconds we have left. Tell us a little bit about next steps for the parallel investigation. Anything you can tell us about where that's going?
Again, without subpoena power, they will continue to get high-quality walk-in people that care, whether it's at the local law enforcement and federal, almost whistleblowers that want to voluntarily get the truth out. And I don't think good people that sign up to work for these organizations want to be part of a bad organization with a tattered reputation. That's not what people put the time and the discipline in to be whether it's a great Secret Service or a great FBI agent or whatever they're trying to do. But until you have accountability to cut out the bad, it devastates the whole organization. So again, elections must have consequences and change must be coming.
Eric Prince, once again, thanks so much for joining us.